Captain America Brave New World is the 35th Marvel movie in the MCU. It follows Sam Wilson as Captain America, played by Anthony Mackie, as Sam has to deal with taking up the mantle of Captain America and the new President of the United States, Thunderbolt Ross. From there, a spy conspiracy theory starts to roll out, and it's up to Captain America to figure it all out. I wasn't excited for Captain America Brave New World, but I also was not against the idea. I'm kind of lukewarm on the MCU, and the fans seem to be super divided online. In one corner, you have people proclaiming the death of the MCU, and they haven't put out anything good since Endgame. And on the other end, you have people who eat up every single TV show and are in their seats for every single Marvel film, and they absolutely love, and Kevin Feige can do no wrong. And so, with that split, I would say I'm kind of in the lukewarm camp. I don't think the Marvel Cinematic Universe is dead, but I also think they have been making a lot of missteps. Me personally, I loved Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but I feel like that's more of a James Gunn project who has now gone over to DC than a Marvel project. And just to add on top of the divided fan base, you have a film with multiple reshoots and delays, and a lot of people were pretty nervous for what Brave New World was even going to be. And those worries continue to build during this film's opening. It had some of the most corny jokes, terrible dialogue, and a really bad opening sequence in general. But then, about 10 to 15 minutes after the movie kind of settled in, and we get introduced to President Ross, played by Harrison Ford, and this new Captain America movie actually becomes a lot of fun, and I personally think it's a welcome addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let's start talking about our star of the film, Anthony Mackie. I personally think he's a great Captain America. He obviously has very big shoes to fill, and I think he's doing the job just right. He's charming as ever, and it's great to see him so confident in the leading role. It's badass to see a flying Captain America, and the movie does not let this go to waste with heart-pumping aerial scenes of Captain America and his sidekick Falcon fighting off Japanese fighter jets. It proves that not all of the action in these movies have been done, and if you set up the characters well, the action becomes elevated. This movie pulls a lot from two main projects, those being The Incredible Hulk, the second film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the Disney Plus show Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Returning to the MCU is Isaiah Bradley, played by Carl Lumbly. He was the first super soldier introduced in the Falcon TV show. He plays an important part early on, and he has great chemistry with Sam Wilson. But we all knew that this would be a follow-up to that show, but what was even more surprising is that this storyline kind of picks up from the Incredible Hulk film way back. I see a lot of people complaining that they did not want a Hulk sequel, but I think this is a flawed criticism. What's so cool about having a connected universe is these characters and storylines can really be covered in unique ways. It makes this Hulk storyline a key part of the movie and not just a throwaway line of a series of cameos. And while this is not the most popular Marvel film you could pick from, it does have enough to pick up that story and tie up loose ends while still telling a good and original spy espionage Captain America. By no means do I think Brave New World rivals the previous three Captain America films, but I think it gives enough fresh new perspective into this series to make it a worthwhile entry while still not being better than the original Steve Rogers trilogy. Thunderbolt Ross is also fantastic. He is played by Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford has never given a bad performance from what I've seen, and of course he's one of the most charming actors of all time, so great casting here. He unfortunately had to replace William Hurt. After his passing, William Hurt would have been fantastic in this movie and would have been great getting to see his Red Hulk, but nevertheless, I did enjoy Harrison Ford's rendition. I really appreciate the direction they took Red Hulk, and they really bring back the brutality and strength that is the Hulk that we haven't seen in a very long time. We now have this talking, controlled, and calmed down version of the Hulk, and so it's great to see a Hulk just go on a rampage and absolutely destroy Washington, D.C. Outside of the aerial battle against the Japanese ships with Captain America flying around, I really did like Hulk destroying Washington, D.C. It's the perfect dumb popcorn fun I want out of a Marvel film. It's crazy to be watching Sam Wilson's Captain America fighting Red Hulk, and both the story and action are firing on all cylinders. While I've been singing the praise of Captain America Brave New World and everything I've enjoyed so much, it seems like many people online and the critics are kind of consensus on this being one of the weaker Marvel movies, having a rotten rating on Rotten Tomatoes and having a low cinema score relative to every single other Marvel movie. I will say that while I did personally enjoy Brave New World, I still acknowledge that there are many problems with it, and we'll get into that. But people are saying that this is one of the worst Marvel movies and are putting it down there with Ant-Man Quantumania or Thor Love and Thunder, which I think are actually bad Marvel movies that I would never rewatch. Whereas Captain America Brave New World, while it would not be my first choice to go back to, I think it's an enjoyable Marvel film that's worth being in the MCU. Of course, the film is not perfect, and I do see some of the criticisms that are being thrown at this film, although I do think people are being a little bit overly critical and aren't seeing all of the great, cool aspects that I got to see in Captain America Brave New World. I would say the first 20 minutes and the last 10 minutes are clearly a product of botched reshoots. I think Giancarlo Esposito's character is one of the villains that was just kind of shoehorned in, and he absolutely does not need to be in this movie. You could easily shave off 20 minutes just by removing him. All of his scenes feel so awkward and out of place, and like he did not need to be in this film. And before I get into what I liked about the main villain, I just want to really hammer home how frustrating this ending was. The very last 5 minutes feels like such a cop out resolution to solving this problem of Red Hulk. And it's clearly very rushed. It's clear that this was not shot on the same day, but kind of just a shoehorned ending in there. And Sam Wilson has like a horrible CGI background. I'm not sure what happened in these last 5 minutes. I'm not sure what they originally shot, but it was really frustrating to see a fantastic action scene. And then all of a sudden, its resolution is 3 minutes long with pretty bad CGI. Super frustrating there, but it didn't completely take me out the movie because the journey to get there I thought was pretty enjoyable. While Giancarlo Esposito is a horrible side villain and I want him removed, I did enjoy the main villain. Yes, he's a callback to a much older MCU project. I still have the exact scene in my mind when he ended up popping up, and I was pretty surprised that he was even in this movie. But I think that's kind of the magic of the MCU, that kind of loose ends can be quickly interconnected and kind of tied up. Some people can view that as a negative and can feel like Marvel just looked through their movies and just kind of picked out a random villain that they haven't really fleshed out yet. But nevertheless, I think it works in this context, and I think he does a pretty cool job. It was cool kind of seeing this puppet master control everyone, and it gave you the kind of spy espionage feel, although this does not hit the heights of like Winter Soldier or other Captain America movies, like I said. Another really big controversy surrounding this movie was the Israeli superhero Sabra. I think she was fine. No political statements were really made from my knowledge. She could have been removed or kept, and I would have had the same experience. I think she should have probably gone along with Giancarlo Esposito and be completely removed from the film, because I think it would have kept Brave New World a lot more focused. In closing out my review, I want to say I'm very happy to see Sam Wilson struggle to deal with the responsibility of being Captain America, but still choosing to unify the country. We do not need a figure of division, and I love that it's clear as day that Captain America will do the right thing and support people no matter their beliefs, because that's what a good Captain America would do. That's what Steve Rogers did, and it's great to see that that is what Sam Wilson is continuing to do as he carries the shield. Captain America Brave New World is a fun action superhero film with a great cast and amazing action. It has many issues with its opening and closing moments, and you can really feel the reshoots in how clunky some scenes really feel, but the great characters and action clear that obstacle. I'm optimistic of the future of the MCU and to see more of this Captain America. I give Captain America Brave New World 3 out of 4 stars.